If you look at Parkinson's through a neuroeconomic lens, the brain is constantly in a state of decision making about movement. Dopamine is one of the key chemicals the brain uses to judge cost and reward. So when dopamine dips, the brain tends to overestimate how costly movement will be. And when the brain starts thinking this is too expensive to move, it looks for the path of least resistance. And that usually means using smaller joints, and often the distal joints because they feel easier and safer to recruit. It's much harder for the brain to move the center of the body, the big proximal joints, because they involve more muscle and more force. Now, if you're someone who freezes, for you to walk, your center of mass has to move. If that central part of the body is not moving, the whole body is going to feel heavier when you try to movement. It will naturally start to feel like it's frozen because biomechanically, you might be freezing yourself. So think about this. If you find yourself trying to take a step, but you can't walk and your knees are moving really, really fast, what's actually happening is that you're initiating the movement from the knee instead of the hip. You're starting from the smaller joint. When you try to step by driving your knee forward, that actually pushes your foot down into the ground. So you're not breaking contact with the floor, you're increasing it, meaning that you're literally freezing yourself in place. Now think about trying to move away from a desk or a table, or trying to get around a chair, and it feels almost impossible. Ask yourself, what happens if you're trying to do that with your pelvis frozen? If the pelvis is frozen and the leg is not reaching to place the foot, your body has to wiggle instead of stepping cleanly. If your brain is subconsciously trying to initiate movement from smaller joints, it's going to make your whole body feel heavier. Watch what happens if I try to walk without moving my pelvis. You can see how much effort is happening in my knees and ankles, but my center of mass is not really going anywhere. That's what heaviness and glued to the floor often look like in real time. This isn't just about walking. The same principle is true for any movement that has to go beyond the length of your arms. In Parkinson's, many people gradually carry their arms more flexed, closer to the body. Over time, the brain can actually start to believe the arm is shorter than it really is. That changes your internal map of your body in space. Reaching, turning, stepping around obstacles all start from this shrunken, more defensive posture, which again makes movement feel heavier, riskier, and more effortful than it needs to be. Think about boxing, being in that crouched position. You don't want to reinforce Parkinson's. It is critical to view Parkinson's through this lens because it takes the blame off of you. If your brain is overpricing movement and recruiting the wrong joints first, of course things are going to feel hard. Anyone would struggle if they tried to move their body with this biomechanical strategy. Now, the good news is we can hack that system. By shifting attention to the right places and building more optimal movement patterns where you become the conductor of your own body again, that internalized connection is what helps you buy back control and confidence. So if this resonates with you, with how you feel in your own body, click on the link to learn more about breaking free of the Parkinson's cage that is limiting your ability to think and move well.